Did you know that your body has 3 brains, not 1? That these tie you to the past, the present, and the future. That they're the source of fear, desire, and peace, which also means that they hold the secret to being at peace, and that they're the reason behind that symbol of a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. I'm Steve, and I'd like to welcome you to 3 Brain Living, a new channel whose name represents a spiritual philosophy that I'll explain in a moment, but that will move through all the things we discuss here. Now, as a heart-centered philosophy, this channel represents a place to take a deep breath, to move into the present, and to join a community of like-hearted individuals who are looking for ways to navigate this world in joy and abundance in spite of the polarized and misleading environment around us. So if you're looking for a little more peace, a little more presence, and a little more abundance in the ways that matter, I hope you'll find a home here. To grow this into a real community, I'm looking forward to your comments below on what topics you'd like me covering in future videos with my own brand of spiritual thought. Now, for the rest of this video, first, what kinds of topics will we be covering on this channel? And second, what is this line of spiritual thought that will weave its way through the content? On the content front, there is the why and there is the what. As for the why, it's so we can build a community of those who are ready to bring a different, more balanced, more heart-based energy to our world, changing ourselves and our surroundings in the process. We don't escape the world of extremes until we calm those extremes in ourselves. Now, to be clear, heart-based doesn't mean lovey-dovey. We're all individuals and we express our hearts differently. The only key is coming from heart consciousness rather than brain or gut consciousness. The why of this content is also to encourage you spiritually and practically on living your purpose from your best self. My own life has been filled with tons of learning and doing, from writing and publishing to composing music to success as a business executive and a leader in the natural health space. I like to turn my knowledge and experiences and those of other leaders and those of this entire community into something we're all growing from. And the type of content we'll cover, well, plenty of things. For one, I'll share my own living theories inspired by a wide range of spiritual and esoteric traditions that I've explored all my life, and deeply since at least the early 90s, but with angles that I promise you will find 100% unique. It's not the same things you've read in spiritual books or watched on spiritual channels. And just to be clear, I may reference religious ideas or quotes, and especially Christian ones, but this is a broad and deeply esoteric approach, not tied to any one church or religion. Some content will have me reading my books along with author commentary, since I'm there reading to you. So while you can find my books on Amazon, you'll also find several of them for free right here over time and with my added thoughts. So I hope you'll enjoy those and join the conversations around them. For a sneak peek of my book topics, you can check out my author link in the description. But also, we'll talk about anything happening in the world: geopolitical events, business and technology, economy and investing, health and personal development. I'm interested in a lot of things. I hope you are too. And I'll always do my best to share these from the integrity of our spiritual themes. Beyond that, I'll also talk about other people's ideas, whether these are books or quotes or videos, sometimes pointing you to an incredible resource, sometimes giving another perspective on what was presented. And maybe over time, we'll be able to interview those people as well. Beyond that, frankly, I'll share anything I think useful for us to dream a better world and to live successfully in our world. And you already know that by success, I mean this in terms of health and relationships and life experience, not just financial success. And that every form of success looks different for every person, especially if they're living their true purpose, which is also a topic I'll discuss often, because there's honestly no more important theme than literally doing what you came here to do in this incredible, unique opportunity of playing on planet Earth. Now, what about this spiritual perspective? What is it that will flow through my videos? To be honest, I love exploring and experimenting with ideas, and that means challenging you with all sorts of new possibilities. And like with any new ideas you hear, I encourage you to sit with them to see where they fit with your worldview. And if they don't yet fit, to put them on a shelf and see if they make sense later on. This is humble discernment, humility in knowing that you don't know everything while still filtering in a way that makes sense for you. We all evolve in our minds and hearts, and what doesn't fit today may still fit one day, but only if we remain open to learning. This doesn't mean I think I'm always right, so one day you'll finally get it. No one's always right. No one sees the full truth of anything, but that is why we all need to stay open. By gathering honest perspectives from people you trust, especially if they seem to have figured something out or who seem to hold some bit of wisdom that you'd like to expand with, you can continue to grow and succeed in the most important ways. All this to say, I'll explore a lot with you. Consciousness, cycles, prophecies, quantum physics, and simulation theory, you name it. But a real bedrock to my philosophy is this idea that we have a three-brain system. Now, I refer to it as three brains because the brain in your head is related to the nervous system. And yet now we know that the heart and gut also both have nervous systems, and they're all connected. So we could call them the gut brain, the head brain, and the heart brain. But for simplicity, we can just remember that the gut, heart, and brain are all brains in this sense. They are our collective electrical system and the center of the way in which consciousness interacts with us. Now, we're not going deep today into what that means because it's way too much for this video, but let me summarize. The gut connects us to the oldest form of consciousness in humans today, relating back to a time when we were developing physicality. So it's all about survival. This also means storing memories related to survival, which connects us to the past and to our fears or the things that have threatened our survival. The brain connects us to the next oldest form of consciousness in humans, relating to a time when we became self-aware and began developing the intellect. It's related to planning and organizing, connecting it to the future and to desires. It sees the parts instead of the whole, which has its place but also its limitation. The birth of this consciousness was the so-called fall of man, but I would say it was perceived that way because one type of vision closed in order for another to open. And all spiritual evolution leads to something greater in the end. Finally, the heart connects us to the newest form of consciousness in humans and is our current destiny. Where the brain separates, the heart unites. It is about peace, it is in the present moment, and it is meant to be the driving force in terms of how we use the other brains. On this point, all the brains are useful. None of them is evil. But like everything, there is a right use and wrong use. And if we want to transform our lives and this world, we need to grow that heart energy and to bring it into the driver's seat steering what we will plan with the brain and what we will do with the body. In this way, all the brains are rightly used, and in this way, energy flows as it's meant to through each of our unique designs. By this, I mean through the design that is uniquely mine or uniquely yours, which no other person has. And that is how you ultimately find that you can live your purpose. So I hope this gives you a good sense of what is here for you and whether this is a community you'll find a home in. If so, of course, subscribe and consider opting for notifications so we really can have a conversation. And if you really want to stay connected and get first dibs on future offers or opportunities, you can subscribe to my newsletter at 3brainliving.com. And don't forget to leave a message below if there's a topic you'd like me covering in a future video. And so, from my heart to yours, be at peace, be in the present, make it a beautiful day.